30 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I rise today to recognize an exceptional group of students, teachers, parents of the Bell Street Middle School Science Olympiad team, which just won their 13th consecutive Science Olympiad state championship. Let me repeat that. The 13th straight Science Olympiad state championship. Remarkable group of parents, teachers, and students. The Science Olympiad program is one of the premier science competition programs in the nation, for which the past 31 years has been dedicated to interscholastic academic competition that provides a of individual and team events requiring the knowledge of scientific facts, concepts, processes, skills, and science applications. They provide constantly changing challenges in nearly 7,000 teams across all 50 states that allow for students to be exposed to a variety of career choices while meeting practicing scientists and life-changing mentors. Now, the Bell Street Middle School in Clinton, South Carolina, began competing in this competition in 1986. The Science Olympiad team here was founded by three exceptional teachers, Dr. Rosemary Wicker, Dr. David O'Shields, and Michael Mack. Mr. Mack and Dr. David O'Shields still work in the school district today, and Dr. O'Shields is the superintendent of the school district, Lawrence County School District 56. He continues to be a part of the team and coaches the Bell Street Middle School Science Olympiad. Many of the Bell Street Science Olympiad alumni have gone on to be extremely successful in fields of science and technology. One example is Elizabeth Humbert, who went on to obtain a master's degree in geology at the University of Tennessee and later went on to help manage mastodon excavation at the Paleontological Research Institution in Ithaca, New York. She also participated in the Hyde Park Mastodon Project, which was the discovery of the most complete mastodon to date. She spent countless hours working in outreach to students through helping to build the Museum of the Earth and through an outreach position at Cornell University for NASA, through which she helped to build the STEM internships across the state of New York for underrepresented students. Today, Elizabeth is living on the island of Sumatra in Indonesia, developing class for upper elementary school students in their regional ecology and geology. Ask about her love for science, Elizabeth states, "My building block, my love for learning, my discovery that I could do what I found interesting dates specifically back to Bell Street Middle School, and to our challenge classes, to enjoying the freedom and the open-ended research it offered, and to the Science Olympiad and the connections it created." And of her experience participating in Science Olympiad, she states it provided her with the feeling that being different might not be a burden, but a great blessing and an exciting path to follow. Science for me has always been that exciting path, and perhaps an unusual one in 1994. I've been so glad to see where women in the field in these last 20 years. See more women in the field in these last 20 years. I know Science Olympiad fosters that in all students and creates visions of possibilities that it really exists, she said. And I believe that her statement sums up how valuable this organization has been and continues to be to our nation's youth. This year's students are continuing the history of success and innovation with their first place finishes in 11 of the state's competition 20 events. One event in particular required the students to create a wheeled vehicle that could travel a specific distance in the shortest amount of time. This year, the length of the track was longer than in previous years, and there was a coffee can placed in the middle of the track. I've got a graphic here to kind of show you what that is. Students lost points if the car went over the finish line or didn't stop close enough to it. In order to be successful in this event, Dylan Sneed created a formula based on what he is learning in his geometry class. He created a triangle with a square ruler, which he accurated with his car, and then used a formula to calculate the distance from the starting point being here, to the ending point. This allowed him to create an arch with a point 1/12 of the total distance. Using this formula, Dylan and his partner, Alyssa Shiflett, were able to create a car that stopped 2 centimeters away from the finish line, winning the team the first place. This victory helped the team achieve the overall first place award at the state competition. You can look at this website and actually watch a video, but they had to take a motorized vehicle that they created, calculate the distance, the energy, and the radius to go around an obstacle in the middle of the path, and they stopped it at the other end within 1 centimeter of the finish line. This is an 8th grade student that did this, helping his class win the first place. I think Dylan Sneed's mathematics and his abilities are tremendous. And I'd like to congratulate him. I want to finally take this opportunity to congratulate all the coaches and members of this year's Science Olympiad team from School District 56 Bell Street Middle School on their 13th consecutive state championship. And I'll try to read their names without stumbling. If I do, students, I apologize. Sydney Argo, Victor Barcenas, Jordan Barker, Sean Bell, Jonathan Braswell, Sienna Brent, Jakia Campbell, Aaron Kaufman, Justin Easter, Mason Gibbs, Cole Gresham, Carl Gustafson, Alicia Gutierrez, Grace Johnson, Matthew Lane, Dequan Lindsay, Patrick Nelson, Tony Parenti, Jacob Pountain, Tataja Robinson, Alicia Shiflett, Dylan Sneed, Destiny Spoon, Bailey Stevens, Marin Vondergeest, Nathan Vondergeest, Gary Walsh, Caitlin Watson, David Wilkie, and Kari Young. These are all the students on the team, and while I don't have all the names of their parents and their teachers, I want to thank them as well and thank them for their efforts in helping create our future scientists, innovators, and for challenging these middle school students to be the very best they can. See, these things don't happen overnight. These Science Olympiad teams train weekend after weekend, spending Saturdays, sometimes Sunday afternoons with the teachers and the parents involved, figuring all these mathematic formulas out and figuring out this science. I also want to wish the best of luck to all of you as you make your way to Lincoln, Nebraska for the national competition, which is in May. I'd like to end by saying, may God continue to bless these students, their teachers, and their parents. May God put a hedge of protection over them as they travel. May God continue to bless Bell Street Middle School, and may God continue to bless the United States.